That you are here too. Beautiful CD cover, and we get to hear the songs first. So tell us about the title Together and why you decided to call it Together.
Well, that's a big one because I was making this album. I've been writing this album for the last 2 years almost, in between touring. I'm not much of a recording artist because I want to tour all the time. I love that so much that it's hard for me to get back to the studio. But I did, with the help of some amazing people who are actually on this stage. For instance, in the back over there, that's Ulko Bet. And he helped me write songs and finish the album when we were at a point where we thought we were never going to finish it, so that's great. I have one of my co-writers here who wrote beautiful music for this album. Here's Ivan Parodi. We have on the bass Manuel Hugas. He also wrote one of the songs that I recorded. And the other guys have been one and the another. Oh, you sang on it. You did backgrounds on it. I'll introduce them to you later. But the album Together, the title didn't come about until much later while we were working. And it's basically the way we travel with Chance Howard from the U.S., Minneapolis, Pittsburgh. And we got some Dutch people here, we got a Colombian guy here, we got somebody, well, he is from Holland, he has a different heritage. And we are so used in our little shiny, happy family bubble that we are together, and that is always good, and that we love each other, and that no matter the difference in our skin color or whatever, religion, sexual preferences, we don't actually care, but we're in a bubble because we get to play all over the world and have fun and play and just do our thing, and people love it. When you're artistic, people love that Rainbow Nation thing. But as we all sadly know, the real world is not like that yet. So Together for me means a lot. It means that what we do, I would wish that upon everybody in the world, because there's not more fun and not much more happiness to be found if you can coexist with people that are different than you. It's just the best. So that was the reason behind the title Together, and you'll hear it in the song. The lyrics are actually by Ivan Parodi, most of them, and you'll hear what we try to say. And we'll do that song if you guys like that later on. So that's the meaning behind Together.
Well, we are going to let you do what you do, and if you don't do anything else, take that message home with you when you travel back home, because that's just a beautiful message. So we're going to let you do your thing. We can't wait to hear the songs. We're hearing it first. It's the world premiere of Together. Please welcome Candy Dulfer.
Thank you so much. So, thank you very much for the introduction. We don't have like loads of times because I know you guys, there's so much fun to do in the festival and you want to get back. So what we'd like to do is play a little bit live because I have my band here with me, and that's just a waste if we wouldn't do anything. We'll talk about some more about the album, and if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask me. I don't want to sit with my back to you guys, so I'll turn around a little bit, but this is the way my hair blows. It's the right. That's important too, you know. The first song actually that we're going to play is not the title song, it's not Together, but it's a song called How It's Done. And it was written for me by a guy called Ricardo, or Rico Green is his stage name, and he toured with us the last 4 years. You might have seen him, I think he was with us here at Jazz Fest, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think so. And he's a great young guy, and he wanted to write a song for me, and he said, Candy, there's always these girls that try to play the saxophone, and they talk to me, and they say, how does she do it, and how does she, how do I get to be like her? But you gotta go, how to go, and let me show you how to do this, girl. Take a look into my ways, come on, and let me show you how to do this, girl, yeah. It takes a little bit rough, but you gotta go, how to go, and let me show you how to do this, girl. Let me show you, take a look into my world, and let me show you how to do this, girl. It takes a little bit of love, but you gotta it's done.
That's how it's done.
Thank you.
That's how it's done.
That was a lot of fun. We're just, this sounds like we're actually plugged, but this is, for us, this is an unplugged session. Well, let's say semi-plugged.
Yeah, semi-plugged.
So, I'm so glad we got Chance here. Please give a big hand for Chance Howard. So, talking about the title track, maybe we should do that first, because it's very important and it has beautiful lyrics by Ivan. As I said, well, I already explained the whole thing, but it's really nice that in the end we got to name the album together. And the reason I haven't been, that the album just came out like 3 days ago, so I haven't even been talking about it much. It's been a labor of love for many, many months. So a lot of it is still inside, you know, like I don't have the marketing talk yet, that's coming up. But I feel this song is very, very precious to me. And once I heard the beginning of it when we were starting to write it, I said, this is the title track. Because we're from Amsterdam, and even there, things are not right. It's just not right. So a little music might not help, but you can always try. It's called Together. Why won't you reach and take my hand? We all share our lives together. If I could make you see my plan, we all should live our lives together. 'Cause we ain't got much time. Burn it in your heart. The sum is bigger than the part. If you would hold my hand, I'll show you the master plan. So find within your soul the place where love grows, where love grows. Oh, I need you to survive. Hey, I need you to survive. Hey, I need you to survive. Oh, I need you to. If I could make you see my plan, we all should live our lives together. Why won't you reach and take my hand? We all should live. See, none of us is free. One of us is shame. So let the colors be a rainbow of you. Come and take my hand. Let me show you the master plan. So find within your soul the place where love grows, where love grows. We should come together. Together, we should come together. Together in love, we should come together. Together in love,
all we got is more than enough. Let's stay together. Together. Let's stay together, y'all. Together is all we got. All we got is more than enough. Let's stay together. Together is all we got. All we got is more than enough. Let's stay together. All the colors in the world tonight, yeah. Together is all we got. All we got is more than enough. Let's stay together. For the children. Together is all we got. All we got is more than enough. Let's stay together. Gotta save the children. Together is all we got. All we got is more than enough. Let's stay together.
Wow, that was just amazing. The CD is called Together. We are so honored to have you here and playing the songs for the very first time. We're going to do just a real quick couple of questions from the audience, and then we'll get back into this amazing music. So you've toured with some of the biggest names in music before doing your solo thing, and one of the greatest quotes ever was Prince saying, "Whenever I want sax, I call Candy." And you know, sadly, it's exactly a year ago today that he passed away. We have Sheila E. performing tonight, and I know that you two had such a special bond. So can you talk about Prince for a moment and just what he meant to your life?
Yes, it's hard to keep it short though, because I've been working with Prince since ever I was 17 years old, and as you know, I'm now 25, so it's been a while. I'm now 47. Sorry, I don't want to exclude you guys. It's just I don't know why I have this chair like this. Sorry about that. So I have many stories to share, and the most important thing is that I think he is the Beethoven or the Mozart or whatever of our times. Really, it's his musical genius surpasses everything that's been done before that. And aside from that, I personally have so much to be thankful for what he did to me. It's just amazing because you all know that he's always been known, first of all, to be a caretaker of other people, other musicians. He built so many careers for so many people. And what is special about him is that he built a lot of careers for female artists. And he didn't think twice about it. It was never a thing like where he thought like, oh, I'm going to help the little women because they need help. It was always like he was just enthusiastic about anything. Didn't matter if you were female or male, but he helped a lot of women, from Wendy and Lisa, from Sheila E., who all had their own qualities, who would have gone there anyway, but he just, uplifted their careers. And he did the same with me. Maybe a short story I can tell. I'll try to keep it very short. But I still think it's a funny story. Okay. The way I met him was I'm from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and I grew up. I was already playing with my own band, and my father raised me very independently. My parents, my mom and my father. My father's a sax player, and he just let me do whatever I did. So I was already having my own band when I was 13 years old, called Funky Stuff. And I was the boss, like I am now, and just as bossy back then. I didn't.
I agree.
They all know, and it wasn't much better back then. And I was just doing that whole thing, and I didn't let, out of fear that somebody would find out that I was not a great musician, I would just do everything myself and organize everything myself, which was very smart. So I was very independent, and then at one time they asked me to do the support act for Madonna in the Netherlands, and I said, well, I don't know. Oh, okay. And I did that, and it was a lot of fun and even musically satisfying, so it was great. And then the next year they said, do you want to be in Prince's support act? And then I was like, yeah, because I was his biggest fan, but it terrified me. So I rehearsed my band for like 8 weeks, and we were just doing this little support slot from maybe like, I think 30 minutes. And then we were there on the day itself. He was coming to the Lens, playing there 3 days in a big stadium, and we were there totally nervous. I had my best ripped jeans on. My stage outfit was like so cool. And of course I was hoping to meet him at least, or shake his hand, or that he would maybe see us play. But then when I came there, I saw it was a whole different thing, very, big star, dressing rooms were all over there and blah, blah, blah. So my hopes just died. But I thought, well, at least if I can just play my butt off, he'll maybe like it. And then 1 hour before the show, somebody came and said, who are you again? I'm like, I'm Candy Dulfer. Because I was 17 years old. And he said, yeah, that's supporting. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Bye. Can you take your gear and get out of the way? And I was like, what? But I was already very, I don't know how to call it, feisty back then. So I called all the newspapers in Holland and told them, Prince is just a jerk. He didn't let us play. He promised to let us play. And I told everybody, I went to Prince's manager, Forgnoli, who you know. It's like this guy with a big cigar and glasses. And he just looked at me and he said, and I said, you know what? I have a card here, a picture, and I wrote on it, Prince, why didn't you let us play? You missed the chance to see a girl play her butt off on the saxophone. And I gave this card to this manager. I was like, and I also saw Sheila E, I was her biggest fan, and I saw her and I said, Sheila, just tell him I'm very angry. And she was like, sure. She's like, in her mind, she was probably going, security. So I gave this card to Forgnoli, but I knew that he was never going to give that to Prince. I was like, I was realistic, but in the end, it turned out he did. And then the second night, somebody said, while I was there as a fan, just going to the concert, not having brought my saxophone, somebody said, suddenly, like half an hour before the show or 1 hour before the show, they said, ladies and gentlemen, Candy Dulfer needs to come backstage. And I thought my parents had a car accident. So I was like, whoa! I ran back, and they said, oh, it's you again. Yeah, he wants you to play now. And I said, wants me to play now? I didn't bring my saxophone, and I live in Amsterdam, which is like an hour's drive from Rotterdam. They said, oh, we can get you one from the music store. And I was like, no. So I called my parents. They drove with my saxophone to Rotterdam. My father got arrested about 5 yards from his house because he was driving like 200 miles an hour. But then my father said, yeah, but I have to bring the saxophone to my daughter. She's playing with Prince. I said, oh, okay. And then he got a motorcade, seriously, not kidding, motorcade escort. Blah, blah, blah. I came there 2 minutes before the show. I got my own saxophone. I jumped on stage. I played. I looked at Sheila E., who was my idol. Bonnie Boyer was there. Eric Leeds. And they let me play on Now's the Time, which is a Charlie Parker song. We jammed, and that was it. And then I came off stage, and I was like, my father nearly fainted. And I thought that would be it. But then after a few days, Prince started calling me. He said, well, I really love your playing. Will you come to Minneapolis, join me? And from that on, over 20 years, meeting Chance, by the way, on the musicology tours, one of the highlights of those years. I got to be in and out with Prince's inner circle, and he promoted me any way he could, and he gave me that special line, when I want sex, I called Candy with an A. If anybody wants to know, no, we've never been sexually or romantically involved. I thought he was like my uncle, he was like old. And his girlfriend at the time was Kim Basinger, so it was all music, folks. So, now yeah, having said that long story, Of course, I'm super sad, even today, and last year was just crazy because nobody expected this, nobody, not even in his inner circle. And that we've lost him so early is really hard. And we, in the music world, we lost all direction. The captain of the ship is gone, you know, one of the most important captains. So it's been hard on everybody, but the good thing is that he made such beautiful music. There's so much for us into eternity to enjoy that. Even though he's gone, he's really present. That's what they always say about everybody that dies, but in this case it's true, you know, there's so much to enjoy and to discover about him. So today is a sad day, but also a joyous day. I'm happy the sun is shining because we get to be here and celebrate his life and celebrate his music. And I think we'll do a little tidbit of that later on, but maybe we can do one song if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Do a quick question and answer real quick
Yeah,
first.
let's do that real quick.
and then
So
we do
raise your
one.
hand if you have a question. Stand up, tell us where you're from, and
You can sit down also, you don't have to stand up.
So, yeah, I was going to say, well, if you don't have any questions, I have a zillion questions, which, by the way, I got my own Prince story, so I know it's not about me, but he was actually the first artist I ever interviewed on the radio.
Oh, wow.
So I was actually like 19, 20 years old, and so don't do the math. But the funny thing was, I was so nervous, and he was one of the first people that we ever knew to play every instrument on the album. Well, that was my question, and I had my sheet of paper, and I'm shaking, and I'm asking him, and I said, so tell me which instruments you play. And he said, you can read my album. And that was that. And it went downhill from there, so that's my Prince story.
He even, at one point, he played me a tape when I was like 19, and he said, do you like this saxophone player? And I heard somebody, and I heard that it was very amateuristic, but there was a lot of soul in it, so I just guessed it must have been him. But I thought, if I say, yes, you sound really great, he doesn't need me anymore. So I said, no, it sounds horrible. He said, okay, I know enough. And it was him on the saxophone. But it sounded actually pretty good.
Jody Mitchell as you're singing sad, sad songs at night. Hoping for the world to change, hoping just like a child. I guess he don't care, I guess he don't care. Don't let it break your heart, don't let it break your heart. So I could take a piece of you if I wasn't out of time. You keep kissing, give your heart to all them strangers. Strangers in the park while I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. I hear your love songs, they don't care. Strangers in the park, baby, they don't dance while I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. Pretty ones always on their knees, hands on the gun. On the outside, knocking the heart. Oh no, no. Why was you good? Why was you good? Give me your heart. Don't want to strangers in the park. While I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. I hear love songs. They don't care. Strangers in the park, baby. They don't care. So I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. They don't care. Strangers in the park, baby. They don't care. So I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. You, outside in my mind. Outside in my mind. Outside in my
Thank you so much. So there's a lot of songs on the album that I would love to hear your opinion about, because some of them we've been playing, but some of them you've never heard before, because we only put them on the record. There's a beautiful song called Love that Ivan wrote. Oh love, don't give up on us. We're only human, lost in a storm. Show us the way, bring us back together. I don't really think I was singing in the right key, right? I'm not that musical.
Just let you go and do it.
That's a beautiful song. I hope you like that. That was made especially for the album. We never did that live before. We're gonna do that this summer because we're gonna do a US tour coming. Hopefully, I mean, we can't cover the whole of the US, unfortunately, because we're from Europe and makes it all very expensive and complicated. But we love coming over, so hopefully we play in an area near you. Okay, you can come to my house. That's fine.
I'll be there.
Oh, that's good. Mexico. See, we can meet anywhere. We find each other, and I'm very, very happy about it. So again, thank you very much for coming today and sharing this with us. Is there anybody with another question about anything? Yeah, you go, sir.
What kind of
I play, and I used to play for many, many years Selmer Mark VI, which is the Stradivarius of saxophones. I still have that, and I will never part with it. It's a beautiful saxophone. But the only thing is, it's a saxophone from the 60s, early 60s. So it's very fragile, and it's also not very loud, and I have to play with loud bands. So those were the things that always bugged me a little bit. Also very hard to keep in tune, blah blah blah, which is hard anyway with any saxophone. But I was and I'm still very attached to it. I got it from my dad, and it's very special to me, and I still play it. But one day, a Dutch guy came over to me and he said, I made this horn, and you should try it because you'll really like it. And I was I had a little time, and I was almost a little irritated because I thought, what do you not like about my sound that I'm playing today? And how on earth do you think you can, give me a saxophone that sounds better than the one I already have? So I said, well, just give it to me and I'll show you why. And then I started playing it and I said, I might want to keep it over the weekend. And I'm still playing that one, and it was just prototype, and it's actually caused him a lot of trouble because he didn't even finish the prototype, and I didn't want to give it back. So the brand is called Amsterdam Wind. It's an Amsterdam-made saxophone, which I think is funny and great. It has you don't see it because people think this is a very old saxophone, but I have a talent to make things look very old very quick. My boyfriend looks 78. This actually is done by one of our most famous, he's a world famous tattoo artist, and he put the how do you call it, the Amsterdam logo, the old fashioned on there, and his wife is called Louise, and she's like famous, like a tattoo model, famous person in the Netherlands. So this saxophone is actually called Louise, and it was the prototype, and it was actually to be given to her. And then they would make the real saxophone. Well, she's still waiting for it. She's not getting it. And I'm playing it and making it look ugly, but I love playing it. So yeah, it's crazy. It's actually, I think it's, for me personally, I do miss some things about the Selmer, but most of it is for me, makes it easier to play and more adaptive to what I want to. So I'm very happy with this instrument, and I've been playing it now for 5 years. And at first this guy was complaining, well, first of all, that I stole his prototype, and second of all, that he didn't get any customers. And I helped him with that, so sometimes when people order it from like Japan and China, I'll play it and make a little video for him and send it to them. And now he complains to me all the time that he has no family life and is so busy. So I'm like, what do you want? Success or no? But I think the success lies in the fact he made it so beautifully. And a lot of it is handmade, which doesn't happen with the newer saxophones. Not everything, but much more than the newer ones. So I'm very happy with it. You can check out the website. There's some funny there's a video of me playing it and some other interesting facts. It's called Amsterdam Wind. Great question, thank you. Is there somebody else? Another question? Sir.
Yeah, I found it really wonderful to see you today. It was kind of odd that I found it because when I was checking your tour dates, they're all Germany. So my question is, I have friends in south of Germany, that area.
Oh, yeah.
Are your German shows sold out this summer?
I don't know. I mean, they sell out, but not that much in advance. And I think we're playing in Germany, South Germany, throughout the whole year, here and there. Yeah, yeah. So, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll share a German beer, a Weiss beer. That's like this big. So I have no clue what time we have. Should we do oh yeah, you have a clue. Oh, cool. Oh, we have only one. So maybe then there's room for one more question, and then we'll do our last song, which I'll tell you about. Is there anybody who wants to know anything about me or members of the band? It's free to ask about them too. They're not single, but I can, well, maybe one is. Do you have a question? I'm half deaf. So you got that? Okay.
Yeah, well, I've been writing with Candy since 2015, I think, and somewhere last year, in March or I think February, she asked me if I would like to come join the band, because the singer that was in the band was going out. Rico Greeny, we went out to do a solo stuff, and I said like, well, yeah. Yeah. Since April last year, we've been I've been touring with her and with this great band. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Well, you see, Ivan was in The Voice of Holland. You know The Voice.
Oh, was he?
And and he was very successful there. And he did other stuff. And he was with a very successful Dutch band called Sven Ham and Soul. So I thought I can't have him in my band, but I needed somebody, because our other singer was leaving, and of course, as you know, Chance Howard is such a gem, but he's also very busy, and also he's very expensive, so we can't have him everywhere. It's not just the fee, it's, oh my God, it's the hotels, the limos, the food, the girls, everything we have to provide for him. So I needed a strong singer, you know, so I was very happy.
You needed a strong singer who was cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to live, you don't need much.
Wrong. That's just wrong. That's so wrong.
No, I'm actually happy that we got this outfit together, because after Ricardo left, we had a vaudeville. And then we had Ivan and Chance, And then I actually didn't need anybody else, but then I saw this young guy. He's 20, how old are you now?
22 now.
22 years old. I saw him sing one song, just one song, in some club, and I said, "You're coming with us on tour." I made him quit everything in his life, and he's now with us, and he's amazing. There's not much room for him today, but tomorrow you'll hear him sing. I'm just so happy to be playing with all these people, and Ulko, who I've been playing with for 35 years, since we were 13 and 14 years old, maybe even longer than that. And then we have another young guy here, amazing drummer, Nicky Lohman. He's very caged today. I told him to play softly. It's really hard on him. He did great. And we have, this is a long-standing member of Funky Stuff of my bands. We've been playing together for so many years. He's been in and out of the band, and the last 6 years he's been with us, Manuel Hugas. And then on keyboards, we have Arjen Mooijer, who's the backbone of this band, and we've been playing for so many years. So together we have this amazing life, and we play everywhere, and we're just famous enough to draw good crowds, and we're not famous enough to suffer anything, so that's the best life you can ever have. So I'm very, very happy at the moment, although 2016 was a challenging year, we could say, but it was a challenging year for everybody, so that we can join in on that. I just want to say that you catch me at the moment at a very happy time in my life, and I hope I can express that well enough and share that with you enough, especially today, but also especially tomorrow, and maybe tonight with Sheila, because tonight is a special night. I'll definitely be there with her and honor Prince in one way or another. And before I go on, there's something more important than all that. It's called Please Give a Shout Out to Lemmons Godfrey's birthday. Who is that? Hey! Now I'm guessing 36, right? 48! Congratulations, sirs.
58.
Oh, 58. Ah, no, that could be it. Can't be true. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you.
play a little. And then later on I'll sign your CDs. We can make pictures after because I think some of you got to leave, so if you want to really have a picture together, stay or come tomorrow and grab me whenever you can. We'll do one more song. It's not on the album, but I think we got to do it today and also give a little room to Chance, because Chance is not here to just sit here in the sun and enjoy himself. We want him to work.
Yeah, we chilling out here in the shade. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing all right? All right. Now, quick little story. There was a song that was written by Prince, and people don't know this, but he wrote it about me. He wrote a song for Candy a while back, but he actually wrote this one about me. He didn't know he was writing it about me at the time, but
it was prophetic.
It was prophetic. Exactly. And well, we're gonna do that right now. So check it out. You guys are gonna participate. So I want you to put your right hand in the air. All right. Now we're gonna take that hand and we're gonna make a C. And we're gonna close it up and we're gonna make an O. Yeah, and then we do like this, that makes another O. And you hold your hand out like a stop sign. Put your fingers together, put your thumb out. That makes an L. See the L? Right? And what does that spell? And what does that spell? Well, all right then. Check it out.
If you want to get up and dance, feel free to do so. Please give it up one more time. Cheers. How? You ready?
Oh yeah, baby. Let's do it. Y'all ready? 2, 3. music brings you home. Yes, it does. My money's by the dozen. I got money by the time. Hey. 'Cause ain't nobody better. Heaven knows that I'm the one. Now, this is just a little something that you can't learn in school, baby. I'm just, honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so, just ain't nobody bad like me. Come on, put them up, just see. What's that spell? It's time for you to play, baby. It's time for you to play, yes. Yeah, what time is it? Well, it's time for you to play, Candy. It's time for you to play. Come on. Heaven knows that I'm the one. This is just a little something, baby, that you can learn in school. Honey, baby, can't you see? Just ain't nobody bad like me. Everybody put them up. love each and every one of y'all. We just like to say 1, 2, 3.
Hey! Thank you so much. Give it up a chance, Howard. Key Dulfer on the drums. Iron Noy on keyboards. Pablo Humas. Camilo Rodriguez. Ivan Barodi. And thank you so much for having us today. And thank you for coming out. I hope you like the new album. And we'll sign it and we'll have some fun and enjoy this amazing festival tonight. We're all alive. We should celebrate every minute of it. Thank you so much for helping me do that. All right? Come on now.
All right, y'all.
Joy.